I just realized right when I hit that record button that my computer has about 500 hours of talking time left before my hard drive is full. Yeah, if I can sit here and talk for 500 hours, my mouth needs to be sewn fucking shut. Probably does anyway, but that is besides the point. Anyway, hope you guys had a good Christmas. It's that season. All the Christmas noobs are coming out. I haven't been on Call of Duty since yesterday, or the day before I think it was. But I'm wondering how many of the Christmas noobs are out there, or newbies. Of course, in the case of this game, the Christmas noobs are probably all returning veterans that just managed to finally get the game again, and they all know exactly what they're doing. The first set of Christmas noobs in history to know what they're doing. Or not, you never know. All I know is every year around Christmas, ever since Modern Warfare 2, I've been looking up that Christmas teabag song for Call of Duty, and it makes me laugh every time. Well, moving forward, hold on, let me get some liquid encouragement here from one of my gifts yesterday. Ooh. Jameson Black Barrel straight from the bottle. Tingles in all the right places, minus a few of them. But that would be asking for too much now, wouldn't it? Anyway, if you saw my last video, you noticed I did the headshots for the carbine. I got the Red Tiger, my favorite, but still gotta push forward for that gold and get all the boring normal kills out of the way. So here we are grinding through all that. Now, back in the day, the carbine, it was my first go-to weapon in Call of Duty. It was the one that allowed me to get used to Call of Duty because it was my first one, and it was a nice weapon, nicely balanced, not too high in the damage, but that low recoil really makes up for that at long range. I mean, the low damage can still bite you in the ass at long range because they can duck down before you can get that last kill shot in them with how many hits it takes, but that person has slow reactions or isn't paying attention, then you got them. Unless you put the silencer on, in which case you're just fucked because it will take you the whole clip to drop them, and you'll piss through your lead like nothing. You definitely need bandolier if you're going to shoot long distance with a silencer on. That much is for certain. But yeah, I used the carbine for so long in Call of Duty 4. It must have been like my first quarter of the whole game. I forget what I moved on to after that, but in the end, I was all about the low tier weapons. I loved using the Scorpion with a double tap. Pissed through your ammo like crazy, but it was enjoyable, not the easiest to work with. I loved the pump action shotgun, and I loved using the MP44. You don't see enough of that gun around. I think it's because either people didn't just like the stats of it, or they just didn't like you couldn't have a red dot sight on it. But what can I say, sometimes you just gotta run around naked. You need to run around naked sometimes. Get you used to his iron sights, and it feels liberating. But for me, whenever I used the MP44, I treated it like an AK-47, but just kept in mind it had half the fire rate. If you treat it like that, a lot of times it will work out very well for you. With that low fire rate, you can get a few controlled bursts off to drop someone and got plenty of ammo to keep going. Because that's one of my bad habits in Call of Duty. As you may have noticed, I tend to reload a lot when I do not have to. And that does get me killed a whole lot. Trying to fix that habit, but my other bad habit is that I tend to aim my gun down at people's feet when I'm running around. And that costs me time in aiming and gets me shot. Once I break those two habits of reloading too much and looking down at the ground, I fully intend to go to search and destroy and get used to that again. And I plan to, for my first one, just record it live reactions, everything, and just upload it, because even if I die every round and don't get a single kill, sometimes you just gotta put balls to the wall and just upload a video no matter what it is. Not all your videos can be good. Or in my case, not any of my videos can be good. But I do it anyway because that is what I enjoy doing. And I did notice they added quite a lot of features into this game recently. The new melee weapons. I love the bottle. I need to get the bottle. I need it in my life. Or the shovel. I haven't seen the animations for any of them yet, but I would imagine the shovel you go around smacking people in the head. And if that's true, I would massively enjoy doing that. Or just shanking someone with a broken bottle is highly called for. It's necessary. I also saw they added female characters into this game. I gotta say, that's been a long time coming. I personally wouldn't be using it, but there's a lot of people that requested it back in the day. I mean, there's a large female gaming base out there. Not all of them speak. It's understandable why some of them don't speak, but they enjoy to have some representation too. They deserve the option. I think the reason why they didn't do it in the past was because they had to animate a new set of movements for these female characters, because the male and female forms, they move differently. And I guess they just didn't want to waste the time doing that. It's sad, but I guess that's what it was. Or they just didn't want to set it up to be overly complicated in the menu system to select all that, because let's face it, back in the day, the customization for your character loadouts and classes in Call of Duty 4 wasn't a whole lot. It was bare minimum. It was good, but it was bare minimum. And as long as it doesn't alter how the game plays out, then why not? It doesn't hurt anything. I also noticed the whole supply crate situation. Now, I unboxed the first ones they give you by default. I think I got a skin for my shotgun. But I can't use it because I'm working on these skins. That's my whole purpose of Call of Duty right now, is to work on these achievements. It's what I want to do. I am stacking up the copper tokens like crazy. Haven't looked into what the copper ones are used for. Someone let me know how you obtain the silver ones. I know the gold ones are bought with real money, and I'm not gonna piss away money on those. There's no reason to. But yeah, once they're all my skins are done and all the weapons are fully unlocked, I guess I can do a video of unboxing all the supply crates at once and see what I get. Maybe I'll get some good crap and probably get a bunch of crap I will never use. That's one thing I noticed in some other games, like I think it was Battlefield 4, the supply crates in those. In the end, people were bitching and moaning that all they got was weapon attachments or XP boosts. But stop and think about it. That's like all you do get from them. That's like all it provides once you unlock everything else. So what do you? I don't know what they expected from those, but maybe when I look into the supply crates on here, they'll be a bit different than how they worked in the past. If you guys haven't noticed, if you go to my channel's main page, I did overhaul it a little bit. Designed all new images for it. Cleaned up the page, added links. Cleaned up my Twitter. I created a Facebook page too for my character. Or for my gamer tag, I should say, character. I'm thinking Elder Scrolls right now. Played on that for like a year before it was just no more of that. They changed the game around, the rules changed too much, and just no need for it. Stick to what I know. Call of Duty will do me fine just now. I also made a good outro for my videos you will see at the end of this video for the first time. Spent a few days with tweaking and a couple hours of rendering, but hopefully it'll work on the first go, and we'll find out. There's nothing more annoying to spend hours on rendering and then to find out something is just the tiniest a bit off, and then you gotta go back, tweak one thing, and spend all the time rendering again. For me, my style, I like working with particles. I don't know why, it's just, I like it. The problem with them, though, is when you get about 2 million particles on a page for one frame, it takes a lot of computer processing to render that out. And if you put motion blur in those particles, you gotta wait for that computer to think of 8 frames at once just to get the proper motion blur onto that one frame. So right away that insanely increases your rendering times by a lot. My new laptop's pretty nice, it goes through a lot faster than my old one. Let's say the 4 hours it took to render this one out, and then probably would take about 20 hours on my old one, maybe even up to 30. So, if you want to get into designing like that, you definitely need a good computer to back you up. I know my desktop does not have the power to plow through all that now. It's got a good graphics card, but other than that, it needs a new one. And I gotta say, when I was designing all that stuff, I would take little breaks, go on YouTube, watch some videos. And then with YouTube being as crazy it is right now, it give me random videos that I decide to watch. And you gotta admit, sometimes you get hooked on the weirdest things when watching YouTube. I watched a few series of how people are cut up to prepare sushi from the raw fish. And I'm not even a seafood person. I hate seafood. But watching that is just like fascinating. And some videos just reinforce my commitment into why I hate seafood when you see what kind of bugs and parasites are in those things that can slip through and be served to you, and even through packaged food at the store. I'm not even going to go into much depth about those because that just skews me out just thinking about the worms. Ugh. I'm trying to get that out of my head. Well, let's see other videos I watched. Bullet penetration videos. You can never watch too much of a 50 caliber bullet piercing through everything known to man. Except for a titanium plate. That one stood up pretty damn well to even an armor piercing 50 cal bullet. That was pretty damn impressive. Barely did it, but it did it. I know there's one channel, I forget what the channel is though. I can only find it through my recently watched, but the guy just takes his whole gun collection, takes out to wrench and just shoots random things. Sometimes people give him stuff like the titanium plate, the random types of Kevlar, and just looks like so much fun to do these things. They tell you not to do it, but watching it makes you want to do it yourself because you just want to do it. I'm trying to think of how I can do it on my own while making it my own without, like outright copying someone. And I don't know, maybe I'll take my bow and just go back and see how much I can make an arrow pass through objects. Today I was watching a video series of a guy heating a huge knife up to 1,000 degrees and seeing what kind of things it would cut through. Things like, what did he do? Blocks of ice are obvious. I can speak. He did packages of butter. I think it was a tube of toothpaste. A rubber band ball was kind of interesting watching how those would pop. And just stabbing things into other objects. I watched a diamond get pressed by hydraulic press. Watching the diamond bore into steel and then how they got it out afterwards. And they actually did shatter the diamond on the second go of the thing, which was pretty goddamn impressive. Gotta say, I never would have thought I'd see a diamond just explode under pressure. I would have thought it would bore into the press itself before that happened. Now I'm deep in thought of how I can get my bow to work. Maybe I should heat the tip of my arrow up to 1,000 degrees and compare the penetration values of what I can go through. Hell, I think we're due for a snow day over here soon. Maybe I should make a nice snowman. Put an arrow through Frosty. Good one for the kids. Is the video over yet? I really do suck with commentaries. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just watching kill after kill. Oh, look, a headshot. It's a shame. Maybe they changed it? But I know when I was doing the M16, when I was doing the headshots, I was doing no attachments for the last few headshots of it. And even though I got the 150th headshot like early into the round, after I kept playing with no attachments on, it did not count for the dragon skin. And I'm not sure why that is. You think when one challenge will be completed, it would instantly allow you to, I don't know, work on the next challenge even if the requirements are met. But I guess it's not, because every time I've had to wait until the next game before it would start counting me for the next rounds. And I do like that the new maps came out, or the old remade maps. I was not much of a fan of the Christmas Crash. I really wasn't. You'll see that more in the G3 headshot videos, but I'll have to see if they kept the Christmas map on there. I wonder if they intend to keep it on there or if it's just going to be here for a certain amount of time, but the ho-ho-ho airstrikes I found to be the most enjoyable. The Christmas tree choppers were enjoyable. I didn't get to see if one exploded into any like special animation like the people do, but yeah, it was a little bit distracting, I'll admit, but it gave you the Christmas theme. But in terms of trying to complete a task, it was a bit tedious and in a way. But it only comes once a year, so just sit back and enjoy it. That's all you can do. Ooh, I'm on the nickel. And there we go. Last kill. Gold unlocked. Give it a nice view of the nickel. And we'll see you guys later. I got the G3 coming up. It should be out soon. It takes me about 3 hours to render a headshot video these days. See ya.